How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Catterson here, as it's episode 8 of the X-Files Season 1. Excited to get into this episode, as, yeah, it will be very interesting to see what this week's installment will have. Last week, basically a bit of a prequel, I guess, of Person of Interest. No, it was just really, really fun stuff with that last episode. You know, very, very computer-esque, of course, with the Ghost in the Machine episode. It was just really, really great for me. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this episode, like I said. So why don't we get into episode number 8 of the X-Files Season 1? Let's go. You really want to put a shirt on in these conditions, bud.
We're not who we are.
Yeah.
It goes no further than this.
Apparently so.
Stops right here.
Nah, don't tell me he's gonna do it. Is what? What the hell? You just beat the shit out of each other, and then you just killed yourself. What the hell?
They were sent to Alaska by the government's Advanced Research Project Agency nearly a year ago to drill into the Arctic ice.
They released
The
something.
samples they removed contained
I
trapped
think
gases,
I've
dust,
seen this
chemicals,
film before.
evidence that could 3-day window to get in and out before the next Arctic storm. Bring your mittens.
Yeah, when I think about them drilling into something, I'm thinking they released something and that something's got inside their heads.
Can I see some identification?
What for?
Want to make sure we are who we say we are.
Going back to that footage. We're not who we are.
Me?
The only credentials I have is that I'm the only pilot willing to fly you up there. You don't like those credentials? Walk.
Ow. Delightful. Delightful. Very delightful. Ice cores. Yeah, they dug into a substance or some... Yeah. Oh! It's just startled. Don't hurt the doggy.
Yeah, he didn't break the skin.
Shit.
There? You okay?
You got me.
Damn.
Back it off. Just give me the stuff. I'll do it myself.
Ooh.
Is it rabies?
Ooh. Period time. Whatever this thing is infecting, what that infected the guys at the base. What if it reacts to the blood and that's how it gets into you know, I don't know. This is just me, because we don't even know what the hell this is at the minute, but I just like to theory. I just like to guesstimate in terms of, like, hey, we set something up. Yeah, this dog just attacked me and all of that. Okay, I'm bloodied. Oh, wait. What if that's how it enters through the bloodstream and all of that? I don't know. But, again, it's early days, but no harm in trying to, you know, guess from the very early very early on this. So.
It's been scratching off its own hair.
What the fucking now? What?
Look at this.
What the fuck is that?
What the hell was that?
No! Oh, no! Poor bear. Damn!
That.
It was very good. The numbers indicate the topography to be concave. Looks like they were drilling inside a meteor crater.
No, you're
Oh,
wrong.
shit.
It's impossible.
I analyzed 2 samples.
Shit!
Or an object.
So,
What the shit?
That same thing is in Richter's blood.
Oh, nah! And he's, like,
Life
breaking it
outside the cell
understandably.
organism is the larval stage of a larger animal.
Oh, no.
That's kind of a... For quarantine procedures. We can't risk bringing back the next plague.
Let's say you're right. They came down with something. We haven't. And I ain't waiting around until we do.
This guy's a liability!
I think it's safe to go back. There's no reason why we'd be infected. We've taken all the necessary biological safeguards.
The dog did bite Bear.
It jumped Mulder, too.
Hey, look, there's only one way to proceed.
You're really gonna throw him under the bus?
Should confine Bear until he agrees to an examination.
Really? Okay. Thank God. Jesus Christ. One would have to assume... Oh, he's definitely infected. Oh, and he's definitely infected. What the fuck? Oh my God. Ugh. It's latched on there. Ugh. Oh my God!
Bear in any condition to fly. If we don't get out of here in an hour, we don't get out for days.
Anyone else could fly a... Shit.
It's just a theory. We don't have any definite proof.
Except 5 dead men.
If the
Yeah.
war makes people violently aggressive, then why did Richter and Campbell kill themselves?
Maybe they did it to save us.
Shit.
They've carried that type of life to Earth.
Mulder, that pilot
Wow.
developed surface symptoms
Here we go
within
again.
A few minutes. Within a few hours, that parasite had total control. What would happen if this got into the population? A city the size of New York.
I know they've mentioned about, you know, it feeds on that anger and all of that. And yeah. The world's already an angry place. This would be less angry than what the or less aggravating, less hostile than what the world is right now, because the world is completely miserable in 2025. Not that I blame like how miserable the world is with how certain leaders are just making life miserable for everyone. But even in like the comment section and all of that to a video, it's always misery. So I'm kidding. Kinda. Jesus Christ.
You know, Bear's infected blood did get on Scully.
Also got on you.
Oh. But Scully, no!
Something going on we should know about? Agent Scully, all right?
Yes, I'm fine. It's nothing.
You seem a little bit stressed out.
I mean, you could oh no. Oh
What the
no.
hell are you trying to
Oh,
say?
you
Settle
dickhead!
down. It's been a long, hard... Before anyone passes judgment, may I remind you, we are in the Arctic.
Ah! I love that. I love that.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah.
Don't let the parasite bite, right? I think the whole message of like don't let the bed bugs bite is a bit condescending given the circumstances. Oh no! Oh no! Scully, no! My concern, no, Scully. I don't like this. I don't like this. They're all taking precautions and all of. Oh no. That's it though, they're all taking precautions because of this very anxiety-inducing situation, and it's like... I hate it here. Mysterious. Oh no, this ain't looking good.
My back on anyone. As far as I'm concerned, you're all infected.
Hodge is right. We ought to lock him up.
Oh my god. Hey, alright.
Get that gun off me.
Mulder, you have to understand.
Put it down!
Put it down.
I don't like them holding guns at each other.
In here, I'll be safer than you.
And this is where shit's gonna hit the fan, isn't it? Oh no.
I was doing.
You know, I can't help thinking, Agent Scully, you're the only one with a gun. If you get infected,
Precaution.
you don't stand a chance.
Oh my god. It's one of these two, but I'm more convinced Scully's been infected.
But if he is infected, he doesn't go back. I won't risk the possibilities.
Shit. This is also like.
This is AICP calling
Oy.
Doolittle Airfield. They from two different worms killed each other.
Shit. It reacts. Yeah, look at them. It reacts. Shit.
The worm will not tolerate another invading its host.
Oh my god, this is... I don't like it with the dog being the guinea pig. I don't like it. What's weird is I'm more nervous about the dog than anyone else. Yeah.
Sounds okay.
Sounds okay. I'm waiting for something to happen.
It passed the worms in its stool. They're dead.
Shit!
They'll kill each other.
You give me one worm, you'll infect me.
Because he's like, look, I am...
Then why didn't you let us inspect you?
I would have.
I am clean. Like, told you so. Told you so. Yeah, check her.
He's uninfected,
So is she.
which means that it must be one of you.
It's him.
All right. Let's go over to the main building.
It's him. Oh, but what if
Like
it's
check it
her?
yourself.
Oh, no, 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 no. Mulder, 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 no! Mulder! Oh, it is her! It's her! You get, it looked like he missed there. Holy shit!
It's all right.
It's messed up though. To counter it, you have to introduce a second one. Oi.
Genetic structure on its origins.
Wait, Mulder. Don't you know?
Know what?
Shit.
45 minutes after they evacuated us, they torched the place.
Oh no. You can't do any investigation on this parasite.
Military? Centers for Disease Control?
Make sure
gotta know.
it's not to risk it, isn't it? Burn the place. Mulder comes up short again, doesn't he? Like, there's something very fascinating and he can't exactly conduct any further investigation or whatever because of some kind of circumstance that happened. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed that because it was very compact, wasn't it, this episode? And it's, you know, a very, very fascinating element on a not like an who's the imposter kind of scenario, but I mean, in this case, it would be who's the infected one, and we just don't know who it is. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I was just wondering, like, I mean, because that's it though. It's not like the Silver had to die or anything like that. So I was so certain that one of the, either Mulder or Scully was going to get infected. Because that's it though. The Silver didn't even it dawned on me it could be her, because it's going to be the direction of it's the person you least suspect. And then boom, because Hodge was acting very, very aggressive at times. I had a lot of fun with this episode. It was good. It was really, really... I mean, for a very confined Monster of the Week kind of episode, it was very, just incredible. Because there was just a few aspects in this episode that really, really stood out. Whether it was kind of Scully and Mulder just had odds with each other, like extreme odds. Especially in terms of what to do with the parasite. But also it was just very, very interesting in terms of trying to guess who could be infected at this point. So yeah, and I just really, really enjoyed how things went by. I will say, though, I was, throughout the episode, there was a lot in my mind that was hoping that, either Mulder or Scully would be someone who would be infected. So, yeah, because, I mean, it does become a bit of a problem with Bear, obviously, dying once they extracted the worm. It would add a bit of concern, wouldn't it, in terms of, okay, how do we deal with this whole thing? If when operating on the subject, they would die soon afterwards. So, because of the fact that the worm is retaliating. And it would have just, I don't know, for me, it would just add to, how, it would just raise the stakes, wouldn't it? So even if you do know that, well, obviously Mulder and Scully are going to continue, it just raised the stakes in a sense for me. So I'm just thinking back to that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode, very, very early on. You can skim through if you want. And if you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you should do so, because it's one of the best shows of all time. So, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I felt reminiscent of, in some semblance, and what I was kind of hoping for what this episode would have. I was kind of hoping for either Mulder and Scully to be infected, kind of like how Simmons was infected with that Chitauri virus in episode 6 of season 1. I remember that very, very well, because it was probably, I think, one of the first. I think it was the first episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I cried at, and also it really it really set sail the ship that was Fitzsimmons for me. So yeah, but it was also very, very, I was breaking it during that episode. So obviously there is a lot more of an unsafer terrain when it comes to that show, because, well, there's only it's Mulder and Scully here, so you can't exactly lose one and then just be like, well, that's that. Whereas with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had a team, they had several members there, so there is the added risk there. But still, the idea of okay, well, she's done for. Simmons is done for. The idea that you thought that there was no way to cure this was present and that she was destined for death until, of course, there was an antidote for the virus, and then boom. And it's the same kind of here with De Silva when she was revealed to have been infected, and we found out about the worms and how they reacted to one another, how they essentially fought themselves, and yeah. And I feel like that could have definitely been applied to Simmons. That could have been applied to Scully or Mulder. So yeah, but also at the same time, I do understand why they didn't have anything kind of emotional or anything like that, because I think with both Scully and Mulder, they're still trying to assess where they stand in terms of how they respond to one another, and it definitely, like, it especially in a situation like this, especially with aggravation and all of that, and how that could potentially impact the world and all of that. Probably not as aggravated as it is in 2025. No, but like I said, in all seriousness, it makes sense to have them to pit off against each other, especially in terms of the nature about this worm and what to do with it. Because especially with Mulder, and you even saw him at the very end as well. There is curiosity. There is curiosity there to look at this worm and find out what makes it tick. But we don't want this shit show to spread across the earth. We don't want this world to turn ugly, essentially. We don't want this pandemic, essentially. So the best course of action for Scully is to exterminate it here and then. So yeah. So I understand why they didn't exactly go that way. That I thought they were going to go with either Scully and Mulder both being infected, because that does add a bit more emotion, and with this there is a lot more anger, and it's very interesting to kind of guess who could be infected, and it gives you ample opportunity to kind of clash Mulder and Scully to get against each other. And it keeps you guessing. It keeps you guessing until that final reveal that, oh shit, it's De Silva. So, but yeah, like I said, especially towards the end of the episode, there was that thought that ticked in my mind, like that was like, yo, it could be the ones you don't suspect, because even Hodge was acting a bit, and then there came that notion, this is what they want us to think. So, yeah. But even then, like even after the whole worm situation concluded, there was still a bit of that push for Mulder to go back, and Scully was like, just leave well enough alone. So yeah, but it was just very, very interesting, because I mean, you like, this thing has been here for like a 250,000 years, I think they said it was. And you just go, you just think back to, I guess the dinosaur age and all of that, right? In terms of, well, they even said they think that this was, associated to a meteor, this parasite and all of that. So, yeah, but you do think back to the dinosaurs and, what could have been here before, man walked the earth and all of that. So, and then you got to think the ice age, and there's all of these possibilities of these different species that you have never encountered. And it's something so grounded. So it's not like, a werewolf or shapeshifter or anything like that. It's nothing too crazy that does bleed into the supernatural. It's a worm at the end of the day that can make the mind react in a very, very hostile way. So it's something that I would say is a bit more grounded, but still, of course, does bleed into that supernatural, of course. So, and that what, like, even though that Mulder suspects it could be extraterrestrial, there is a bit of acceptance there for Scully and all of that. So, because of course she's still going to try and find her footing in terms of, like, with Mulder, he's going to be convinced that this is extraterrestrial, especially if it, does come from a meteor and all of that. So, yeah. But again, with God knows how much life has traversed this planet in its time of existence and all of that. There are going to be creatures that we have not discovered and all of that still, that have survived, that are now extinct, or whose remains are buried and all of that, and it's very, very fascinating to go through. So yeah, but overall, I think the way that they did have this whole idea of paranoia and distrust scattered through the episode was just really, really well done. So yeah, especially with the fact that it's so confined, and there is the added risk of, you've got to quarantine this ship before it gets out there. So it's a very, very nervy atmosphere that we're in. And you could say that no one does feel safe because, again, your mind is darting around to who could be infected and who could pose the biggest risk here. And then how do we deal with this problem? Because we don't want, we don't want to kill anyone and all of that. And even if it's Mulder or Scully, you then think, what now? Because and then of course the story does kind of advance itself to the fact that, well, two worms, they fight each other and all of that. So yeah, so that can be a kind of a cure, but it's still a bit nervy, isn't it? So yeah, but it is a very, very interesting scenario, and like I said, I really, really did enjoy it. So yeah, it was quite fun stuff. But yeah, that was episode 8 of the X-Files season 1. So some pretty good, like, we're approaching the 1/3 distance, or we've already hit it. Yeah, we've already hit it, but I mean, it's been a real blast so far, and some episodes have fared a bit stronger than others, but I mean, overall, I am having a blast with this show, so it's been a very, very great time thus far. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!